So how are your weeks?
My week was pretty good. Second to last week in my job before I go overseas.
In your job.
Your voice sounds
So,
a little hoarse, Joe. Have you got alcohol poisoning?
I had end of financial year
Sale. Earfus.
function last night, and I indulged in a few beverages.
Few jars, few glasses.
Only a few. I didn't have a big night.
Professionally drunk. Professionally tipsy.
How many glasses are we talking?
3 or 4 glasses of wine.
Do they have good stuff?
Is that acceptable? It was really good.
Yeah, that's acceptable, I think. 3 or 4. No worries.
And how was your week, Dick?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Do you remember that house I was telling you that in Doonan that I have run of the house because the owners are away?
Yeah, in your undies.
Yeah.
And I said that the owner's friend came around in his car, and the neighbours' kids came around, and it's actually quite busy. Anyway, so I have been, while they've been on holiday, doing another job, and then I got a call from that neighbour who came around to check on the house, and somebody, he assumed it was me, had left a door open, and bush turkeys and cockatoos and all sorts of birds had got inside and completely trashed the house. Like smashed
Holy
everything
moly.
off the benches and mantelpieces, and shit on the couch, shit on the beds,
Oh my gosh.
shit on the carpet.
So have you been going into the house? Like, could you have done it?
No, I didn't have. Luckily, he didn't give me a key, or tell me that I was able to have access to the house. So I haven't been going inside. But I don't really. I didn't tell him that I wasn't going to be there and be at another job. So, yeah, not great.
So the bush turkeys have got into his pantry.
Yeah, and every room in the
They've gone
house.
mad with the jats.
And are you being blamed for it?
I'm not being blamed. But you know,
He's not being nice.
Well, I haven't actually talked to the owner. It was his friend who's coming to check up on the house and start the cars and stuff. He called me and was like, "Have you been inside?" I'm like, "No." What's going on? He said, "Well, the house is completely trashed. Like the couches are ruined, the bedding is ruined, the carpet is ruined. There's smashed stuff everywhere." So yeah, but you know, it's obviously no malice because there's the keys to the fancy cars and cash on the bench and stuff. So it was just birds.
It was
Only a
animals.
bush turkey could do that.
If it was a human,
Wow.
not a bush turkey, then the cars would be gone, I think. But
Or a human with a free spirit who has no interest in money.
There'd be a few of those up in...
Yeah. It's just they wanted to go in and fuck the place up.
yeah, but my guess was that it was the neighbour's kid coming around looking for his mate, their kid, and he's just opened one of the doors and then called out and then just left. So
Wild.
yeah, I haven't talked to the actual owners yet, so I guess we'll see if they're blaming me when they're home.
But you didn't have a key, to be clear.
I
Or you
didn't.
did?
I didn't have a key, and I've never set foot in the house.
But they
so-
might blame you because they thought maybe you were supervising because you were in the yard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It
maybe. So we'll see how the invoicing goes.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Do you remember when the house burned down at the end of Dad's street? You might have been a bit young, Joe, but there was the house at the end with the view
In
I
Eden
remember.
Hills.
In the
Eden
corner.
Hills.
Yeah, yeah.
in the corner, and we
Yeah.
went into the burnt down house. Do you remember that day?
Yeah, I remember that.
And it was my first tag ever. I got because there was like a bucket of paint. I was like 10 or something, and I saw a bucket of paint and like a brush, and I wrote "burn," which is quite evil.
Was that an insurance jobby though? That was an inside job,
I mean,
probably.
That's what the neighbours would say.
everyone, the street, the whispers on the street.
Yeah.
I remember Dad saying something about building approvals and blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden it's burnt down. So
Everyone thinks they're a fucking expert, though, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When something burns, it's like could just be a ciggy or whatever.
People
think
used
it-
to say that about Mitcham Shopping Centre as well. That was the
Yeah.
rumours in our
It's
suburbs.
a bit convenient, though, wasn't it? Now I'm being the
Now
expert.
you're being the
2
expert.
seconds later.
And do you remember that the bar on Bimbo's on Brunswick Street that burnt down? That was the whole rumor they were trying to get building approval, couldn't, and then
I think it's basically whenever there's a fire, I think we've just realised that there's always accusations that it's an inside insurance job.
Yeah.
well, how stupid do you have to be to just actually accidentally light your carpet on fire with a cigarette butt, you know? So,
But there can be electrical faults and stuff, right?
Yeah. I also think people used to be smoking cigarettes and they used to drink, like in the old days, people used to be having brandies before bed. And people used to be so drunk in the old days. They'd be having brandy after brandy after brandy, and then having a
Brandy?
cigarette. Yeah, yeah. And
Back
then
in the old days.
in the old days, I'm talking. And then they would have a cigarette and then fall asleep.
oh my god, yeah. Well, specifically brandy and cigarettes. Why brandy? Is that the only alcohol back in the day?
It was just brandy and soda. I don't know. I'm reading an Ernest,
It is kind
Ernest
of an old
Hemingway
person.
book at the moment, and they're just drinking brandies.
Yeah. It is an old person's drink, I think. When I worked behind the bar, the only people that would order brandies were retirees.
What is a brandy? Is it a whiskey or is it like a wine? See, I don't even know.
I worked at a bar for like 2 years. I never served a brandy. I don't think we had any brandy, so I have no idea. I know
What is
a
it,
little
Joe?
bit
I think
about
it's a
alcohol,
liquor.
but
Like, I think it's a hard liquor.
Yeah.
Some-
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
no clue. Do you guys watch the footy last night? The Swans get
I saw
pumped.
I saw the score. That's them out of the finals, is it?
That's their finals hopes dashed.
Did
Yeah.
Brody get at least lots of hit outs? Or?
Yes, friend of the pod, Brody Grundy.
Mm.
He dominated still, so that's good for his
All Australian chances.
prospects of getting his third jacket. That would be great. We'd love to see it.
that.
But did you see the GWS captain, Toby Greene? Did you watch it or not? Or
I didn't watch it. I was out.
He
Well-
said someone was fat, right?
Yeah, at halftime, they do these weird little interviews where, as the players are walking off the field into the change rooms, like a reporter kind of walks with them, and it's always really crap. They only get like a 20-second little interview, and the players are always puffed out and they don't want to do this interview. Clearly, they shove a camera in their face. And GWS were down pretty big by like 30 points, and Toby Greene, the captain, had only had 3 touches and given away a few free kicks. He was having a shocker. And he'd had a couple of run-ins with Papley, who's the little Swans forward pocket little firecracker. Anyway, and then they just asked him about Tom Papley, and he goes, yeah, he's looking pretty fat. Or he goes, no, he's looking pretty overweight. See how he goes in
Because
the
I think
second
he was-
half.
Wait, is he on his team or the other team?
Yeah,
On the other team. So the Swans have Tom Papley, and the captain of GWS is Toby Greene. Toby Greene's getting interviewed, and they said, what about Tom Papley? You had a run-in with him? And he goes, yeah, he's looking pretty overweight. See how he goes in the second half.
I think Papley had just come back from injury, right? Like, he was just back. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that
So was he
the
carrying a bit
context.
extra?
He's not really. He's looking pretty. He's looking fine. Like
They're both like real firecrackers with tempers, those two. So
Yeah.
like they probably have a beef
Yeah, that goes
from
back.
that goes back. It's pretty
Yeah.
funny though.
pretty funny.
That's-
I mean,
we want more of that in the AFL. That'd make it more fun.
You were always a big trash talk guy when you played basketball.
Oh yeah. I once pulled a guy in under 14 nationals. I pulled a guy's headband over his eyes and then did a layup.
yeah, I'm a big proponent of trash talking, and I mean, I think already on the news there's been a lot of headlines. It's like Toby Greene fat shaming Papley. It's like, well, number one, he's not fat. He's
He's an
professional
elite athlete, yeah.
he's like buff and ripped and jacked and fit and athletic. So
And delicious.
I don't know.
But
but
it sounded like that's what you're gonna say.
I don't know how you can get in trouble for fat shaming someone who is not fat at all. You know.
Yeah.
People just say things. People just say something, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, it's on. It's all over the news that he was fat shaming.
But they was fat shaming him.
Yeah.
Well, he must be a bit fat then.
I don't think he is.
He's not. He's stocky. He's a short, stout man, but he's not. He's not fat.
We gotta do the pinch test.
Yeah.
We used to do the pinch test at basketball growing up. At the Sassy or
It's
whatever,
pretty
they do the
wild.
fat
Yeah.
test.
Get your
That was
shirt
all.
off and
Like
they do
skin
the pinch.
folds.
Skin fold test. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you what
Are they
percent.
still doing that in
They would
like
be.
amateur sport?
They would be.
They do it at
Yeah.
Miami Heat.
That's
Yeah.
that's professional. I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heat culture.
Yeah, but they're doing it
When
to
you're
like
getting
kids.
paid millions. Yeah, doing it to kids. I feel like they wouldn't be doing that anymore.
I don't know. Kept us honest.
Do you think you changed your eating?
My
because of
diet,
that?
I was still having K-Time bars on the way. I saw K-Time bars in the shop this week. I was like, are they still? Have they been around this whole time? Or
Yeah,
have
they
come
never
back?
went away. K-Time
Okay.
Twist.
K-Time Twist. I'm salivating.
Sounds like you might be packing them in your lunchbox still, Dak.
I actually bought a just randomly. I should never be sent to the shops by myself, but I bought LCMs the other day, and they're really good.
That must have been after work. You must have been hungry.
Yeah, no, they were at the front of the shop, at the front of one of the aisles, kind of like on special, and I was like, oh, get an LCM. It's been 20 years.
Yeah.
And they're smaller than I remember, but just as delicious. When you were 17 or maybe 18 or 19, Tom, I remember you lived for quite a while on tortillas with peanut butter and LA Maxi, which is like the cheap rip-off version of Pepsi Max, for a long time.
Yeah, that was not good. Yeah, and then I was like, all right, I'm finally going to quit the LA Maxi, the Pepsi Max, and it was a bad withdrawal.
I remember you having, because it's like caffeine addiction, right? Like
Yeah, but then you're also, I guess, you're addicted to whatever the crazy like fake sugar, like slightly in some way that medicine can't explain.
I remember you having a calendar on the wall that you'd cross out days
to get through.
to get through your
I remember it was a
from
9-day withdrawal,
Max.
and you really did have withdrawals for 9 days, and it was like you weren't sleeping and you had like a migraine. It was really bad.
Yeah. That wasn't good. Well, this week, I'll tell you what happened to me. My neighbor has been putting stuff in my recycle bin.
And what?
It's not the only thing that's happened, but it's the only thing that's made me mad. And I took it out, and I looked, and it's got their name on it and all, because it's like a package.
Could it be an accident? Because it's like a group of townhouses with bins all next to each other, right?
Yeah, but it's got my number, and they have theirs with their number.
Was theirs full?
This is the crazy part. It's fresh. You know what I mean? It's come fresh from being taken.
Can I tell you something that
Yeah.
maybe take this on board, maybe don't. If there's 10 recycling bins and they don't always all get filled, just use whatever one. Who cares?
You are one of them. Nah, but see, the thing is, mine gets filled with junk because we're always getting packages and that.
Yeah. Okay.
So like, yeah. So it's constant, and it's like bottles and bottles. I think they overfill theirs with bottles. They must be alkies. And then they try to use ours anyway. So
have you confronted them, or?
no, I took it out and just left it on the ground next to it as like you'll see this. So anyway, yeah.
And there's a bunch of empty bins next to it that you could have put it in, but you just took it out to teach them a lesson.
Yeah. Because seriously, what's your fucking game?
Do you know your neighbours? You're not.
I know like some of them. I'm quite friendly with some of them.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
But there's also some wars as well.
Yeah, clearly.
What happens when you work from home? You have to get in neighbor wars.
If I was a homeowner, like when you're renting, I'm like, oh, maybe I don't need to go and introduce myself to the neighbours. But when I buy a home, I think I will. I'll try the neighbourly route. I'll go around and introduce myself and try and have a relationship.
So then you can house sit their house while they're away, and then you can leave the door open and let the bush turkeys in.
Yeah. You know, we both think it's you that left the door open, right?
Yeah, I
Just
think everyone, the
quietly.
finger is being pointed at me for that. But
It just reeks of you.
look, I'm lucky that he didn't give me a key. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a leg to stand on. But I did not do it. It was not me.
Did you guys see this week that Australia has lifted this ban on US beef imports into Australia? So we're now going to be getting US beef on our supermarket shelves.
As
even
in
though we
just
Nobody asked for it.
as in
No,
meat,
but literally
as in
no one.
beef.
beef, cows, yeah.
Don't we have plenty of our own beef? Aren't we like the world's best beef producer?
Plenty. All of our, I think like 99% of our beef comes from Australia. And we like export 70% of the beef that we produce. So like we have it in spades. There's no shortage of beef.
Sounds like a Donald Trump. He's negotiating something that is completely irrelevant, and we don't need.
Yeah,
big win
correct.
for America. We've lifted the ban on
Yeah,
American
well,
beef.
That is what's happened, I think. So like it was banned since 2019. They've been able to import beef, but because we have so much of our own, we haven't been importing any US beef. And the rule was that it had to be beef that was born and raised and slaughtered in the US. And that was an issue for them because in the US, a lot of their beef comes from Canada and Mexico. And then it's like raise them there, bring them across to the US for slaughter. And there was kind of like biosecurity issues with being able to trace where the beef's coming from. And I think like mad cow disease is the issue, right? That they're trying to stop.
Jesus, we just don't need that. We just what the fuck?
Yeah, they have like really lax, and Donald Trump's making them more lax food security laws in America compared to us, and just food safety. Like they'll feed them weird stuff, you know.
I think the food is just
and
of a lower
antibiotics.
overall standard and quality in America compared to Australia. It's noticeable at the.
Do you remember?
at the
When you were
supermarket.
there, and it's
Yeah.
like the vegetables you eat the vegetables, but you don't feel like you're getting as much goodness or
Not
whatever.
getting nourished.
Yeah,
by them.
not getting
and if you go to to get like semi decent produce, you go to Whole Foods, but it's still below just Coles and Woolworths level produce in Australia, and it's quadruple the price.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah,
But you're right. I think it is just to basically appease Trump. When Trump did the Liberation Day announcement of tariffs, like he did it in the Rose Garden at the White House when he like held up the sign with all of the percentages of tariffs that he was going to apply. When he got to Australia, he went on a little rant about how they banned American beef. So people are saying that it's probably just a tactic to help us with our negotiations on tariffs. And it's actually not going to do anything to the Australian beef market.
Lift
I wonder how
the
cheap
ban.
it would be though. Sorry, Doc.
lift the ban. No one is going to
No one wants.
order any anyway. So
Yeah.
So just let him have it. But I wonder if it's like super cheap if it comes from Mexico, and then it's
Yeah,
and
maybe.
it's cheap, like steroided up. They grow it quickly, kill it, and then it'll end up being like the low cost alternative.
Yeah, like those cheap sausage, like 20 packs of sausages at Coles that are just like mystery, poor quality meat.
Yeah, it is good to have the protections that you can't have crappy meat. Like, not that I eat it, but that you can't have crappy meat. So the lowest quality is still of some decent quality.
For sure.
But because you don't want to be eating the food that they're eating in America.
Yeah. Well, apparently, like, there's been this big review, I think, into the biosecurity traceability of the US beef coming from Mexico and Canada. And the reason why I think they're saying that, okay, we'll clear it and it can come in, is because they're happy, apparently, with whatever the traceability protections are. So
They're happy because Trump told them to be happy.
well, yeah, but you've got to hope that our whoever's making those decisions are expert enough to not wave through the worst
Beef.
the worst beef, the
I
worst
think
types of meat.
you have to be pretty naive to think that the government cares about what you eat, like flat out.
Mm.
They don't care. They don't care if you live or die.
Oh, that's dark.
They don't.
yeah.
Well, I guess the government was pushing. I don't know if they still are, the food pyramid, which was kind of like just rubbish, right?
Yeah, what was it? Just like pasta. It was like you need pasta.
It
Top
was iron
food.
pyramid.
Top food, pasta. Get it? That was a food pyramid when we were growing up. It was like the peak of health. And then Subway came.
bread and pasta.
Yeah,
and
that's why you were eating peanut butter tortillas
I was like, I've checked the food
and
pyramid.
Pepsi Max.
Well, Mum still goes off the health star ratings. I'm partial to health star ratings because sometimes you get drinking like a Coke Zero and it's 3.5 stars. It's not that bad.
I found out recently that the health star ratings are are ratings just based on other foods in that category. So if you go into your chip aisle, and you see a chip that has like, you see Grain Waves or whatever, and Grain Waves have 4.5 stars. You're like, oh, Grain Waves have 4.5 stars. It's Grain Waves compared to Doritos, but Grain Waves compared to just,
An apple.
It's compared to an apple.
Yeah.
It's terrible food.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So it's just compared to other foods in the category. So sometimes even and like biscuits and chips, or crackers and chips are different categories. So it's really convoluted
It's
and
insane.
and dumb.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
So Grain Waves. What I'm hearing is Grain Waves are 4 stars. I can have a pack of Grain Waves and a Coke Zero, and I've had 7.5 stars.
Yeah. I need a. That's my Achilles heel for my diet is just chips. I just can't say no to chips. I don't know what it is. I know it's been my problem forever.
Well, luckily you work physically.
Yeah.
You can just chow down on Grain Waves all day.
If I get another job at any point and I stop landscaping and if I am sedentary during the day, I am going to get so fat so quickly. I eat like competition style eating every single night. Scary amount of food. And I am pretty trim. I'm in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
But it is appalling how much food I eat. And I cannot believe that I'm not fatter than I am. But
Well, you don't eat much in the morning, right? So you back end your food and then you binge at night by the sounds of things.
yeah, I heavily back end my food because you can't work. You can't shovel and like dig holes if you have like a big belly full of food. So yeah, I do mainly do my eating in the afternoon and night. But yeah, if I ever stop working, it's going to be over for me.
Did you guys see the topic change? Did you see? You probably didn't because it's on Twitter. It's called Tea. It's a new app.
No.
Like tea, as in like cup of tea.
No.
So it's an app that women
Gossip
are
app.
using. A gossip app. Have you heard of?
No, I haven't, but
I've
amazing.
heard of the expression
Sounds-
tea.
Sounds great.
Spill the tea.
Spill the tea, yeah.
So I'm about to spill the tea. So it's an app that is, I'm trying to use a fancy word, purportedly.
Yeah.
Checking in with Joe. That is, it claims to be for women's safety, and I think there is a safety element to it that could be important. So it's basically a rating. It's like Yelp but for dates or men.
Oh, right.
So women go on, and it's the number one app on the Apple Store at the moment. It's got like 2 million users all of a sudden, and so they go on and they it will be like some guy Josh, and it will ask you, is this guy worth going on a date with, or what's he like, or whatever, and you get like a rating. And
yeah, that could be problematic.
especially if somebody. So especially if somebody says all right, let's say the good side first. If someone's dangerous,
Yeah.
some freak, somebody
Yeah,
can go in there and go, this guy's a total fucking freak. Like, stay away from him. He's loopy. You
I think
try
with
to grab
online
me.
dating, it's not bad to have some safeguards to be able to, if you're going on a date with a total stranger, you actually probably do want to be able to check in with and say, hey, does anyone know this guy? Is he fucked?
So does it work like you go on a date with someone and then you like make a profile about them?
It's
First and last name.
And like a photo that you secretly took of them or something, like,
I don't know. I think they have photos up somehow. So I
Right.
guess I don't
Maybe
know.
it's linked to dating apps or something. Or
I think it's just they have their own profile. It's
Right.
like Josh in this area or whatever.
Right.
No, actually, I don't know. Then I think I saw a screenshot that was like, oh, why does this person only go on lunch dates or whatever? So it's like saying, oh, maybe he's like cheating or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's good uses, but then if somebody just wanted to say something bad about you.
Well, yeah, like you go on some dates and then he, for whatever reason, doesn't want to keep seeing you, and then a disgruntled ex-partner is like, this guy's
Dangerous.
bad news. Don't go on a date with him.
He's a pig.
Yeah, but I guess that, I mean, it gives a platform for people to, but I mean,
You should have right of reply.
Yeah.
Like you have it on Google reviews. The owners come in and go, "You fucking bastard." Like,
How dare you? Yeah, I mean, I you can see that it might get misused a little bit by just a disgruntled ex or someone who wasn't, nothing went wrong, but someone just wants to, give the person a bad name just out of spite.
Yeah.
But I think probably the safety side of it probably balances that out. I reckon if you're and also if you're a decent person, you don't really have to have. There's not much to worry about. Like if you go on a date with someone and you don't want to see them again, but you just are respectful about it, and you say, yeah, that's fine. Don't want to see you again. You have to be a pretty
bit of accountability.
Bit of accountability. I think also if you're being sleazy and you're just sort of like, sleeping with people and ghosting them or whatever, if that comes up on your profile, you're probably a bit of a player anyway.
Mm.
And then like it probably won't affect you much.
Yeah.
They'll probably check your profile. It'll be, he slept with me, he ghosted me. And they'll be like, he's a player. What can you expect?
Yeah. I knew that probably by looking at his photos.
Yeah, it's probably only going to affect the fucking weird guys.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. And probably it'll go both ways with people saying bad things about people. Blokes will make profiles and be like, yeah, he was a gentleman. And talking about going their own profile and say, yeah, he's a total gentleman and he has a big dick and like I really enjoyed it.
Well, I think this is where it goes into a weird zone. So, of course, the online guys who are too online have got upset about it already and worked themselves into a frenzy. And then some internet hackers have hacked the app and taken all of the license photos in the back end of the app because you need, apparently to get the app, you need to prove that you're a woman. So you upload your license photo to the app. And some freak hacker who's got upset about it has downloaded them all and uploaded them all to the internet. 2 million licenses or something.
Oh my God. With addresses.
Gosh.
Yeah, because people are upset about it. Because guys get upset all the time. It's stuff on the internet. And women get upset. We all just get upset at each other.
Wow.
Jesus. Wow.
So everyone who's downloaded the app or is using it has been exposed, essentially.
Yeah, but is it like that bad? I think
no,
it's
probably, not. But
it's probably worse. Yeah, it's funny. Like guys being like, how can you have an app where you say we're bad people? Now watch me hack and expose your public information.
Well, I've seen. It's not an app, but it's like I think it's a closed Facebook group or something, and it's just called "Sis, is this your man?" or something like that.
Ah.
And it's like where girls go on when they suspect cheating, and they just like tell each other, and it's just like
a network where you can.
It's just like female camaraderie, being like, hey, Is this guy in a relationship? Is this guy in a relationship? Does anyone know him? And it's a pretty big community. So it's like that. I mean, there's probably groups like that they've taken their inspiration from. But I've seen stuff on videos on TikTok of, people exposing their partners for when they make a fake profile on a dating app and then they organise to meet them, one town over, and then they go and hide in the car and film them looking around for the door at the address. Like, where are they?
Oh my gosh. I've seen those. Yeah, I just think that, I guess the bad side is everyone is so surveilled already. Everyone feels like they're being watched, that you see those viral videos of people at parties and like they're just like dancing or whatever and someone's filmed them across the party and it's gone viral because they look a bit goofy or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think people need to be more watched. I do think people need to be accountable for like bad behavior.
Yeah.
But like, people also need to be able to just like naturally exist and like kind of make social errors and stuff without it feeling like it's going to have massive repercussions. Because that's what we do. That's how we grow. That's how anything happens in society.
Yeah, but I think small social errors and stuff won't have massive repercussions on this app. You have to be either a really vindictive ex or you have to be a fucking real creep. I think if you're just
but what if you don't want to go on a date or something? I mean, that's probably your own fault because you're like, oh, like last time I went on a date, they said, oh, he like fumbled his words and he like spilt his like soy sauce on
But
his
then I
rap.
don't think anyone would see that. He put his words and spilled his soy sauce and be like,
I've
well,
done it before.
I'm not going.
Speaking from personal
This is
experience.
you going, this is what would be written on your profile. What ended that with this guy who's fumbling his words and spilt soy sauce all over his
He
t-shirt.
knocked the soy sauce on himself and everyone looks.
No, but I don't think that would be enough to discourage someone from going on a date with someone. Saying someone was nervous and awkward, like that's fine on a date. But if you're a creep, then people won't go on dates with you. If you read a profile and about a lady that you were potentially going to go on a date with, and it said, yeah, she was nervous and fumbled her words on a date, and she spilt the
soy sauce on her lap and went everywhere.
Yeah.
Exploded.
And then she was banged her head on the table when she tried to clean the soy sauce. Like you would be like, this is probably going to be a pretty funny date.
And then she bent over and her hair caught fire on the candle or something. Like some Mrs. Doubtfire shit.
Yeah, I don't think, unless you have something really malicious and bad, some evil stuff going on, then the app won't affect you badly. You know what I mean? I think it's...
I think it's probably a net positive.
Net positive.
Is that where we're landing?
Net positive
Yeah.
is what I'm trying to say, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That's the tea app. That's spilt the tea.
Spilt the tea. I hadn't heard of that. That's
The
interesting.
tea is hot. Have you had that?
The tea is scalding hot. Yeah, I
Tea
might
is
get
scalding
Jess to download it so we can have a look around and see everyone's ratings that we know.
I think it's mainly in America at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We'll bring it in. I'd love to see the reviews, date reviews.
I'd like to see how it works. Like, do you search them by name, I guess, and there has to be some sort of profile.
I think it's
or
like
something.
a local area.
Yeah,
Yeah, it'd be
okay.
hard to find people, I reckon, unless there's They could even just do like danger ratings on Tinder or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure they have some safety features, right?
But imagine you had a profile, like you come up on the profile and that's a little thing that said like potentially
Potentially dangerous.
potentially nuts.
Potential stalker. Yeah.
Potential stalker. You'd be like,
God. Well, I mean, there's been a few. I mean, remember that guy in the Gold Coast, the Tinder murderer?
yeah, because he looked a lot like my friend Keegan.
Oh no.
I didn't know that.
You haven't seen him? He looks exactly like Keegan. Well, back then more so, but yeah, he looks like Keegan.
Keegan lived on the Gold Coast, didn't he, for a bit? No.
But he's been caught and
Keegan's
arrested. It wasn't.
He's
Keegan.
been caught. They knew who
Yes,
it was.
it wasn't Keegan.
Yeah, it was, to be clear, not Keegan. But yeah, I think it was a similar time he lived over there. So
Yeah, I mean, so that and you do hear about it. So the people, I mean, dating strangers from online is kind of inherently dangerous, and it maybe, I mean, even with this app being up and running, it's like, yeah, someone could just make a fake profile and can still be dangerous. So it's not just some guardrails, I suppose, but
yeah,
it's kind of, yeah, it's a bit fucked up, but it's just sad that, you know, you might just be in danger dating someone online, a stranger.
I think especially as guys, we don't actually realize it.
Yeah.
Like you don't, it doesn't occur to us until someone says it, and you're like, oh yeah, that's not. It's our physical safety isn't something that goes through our mind all the time.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah. How does Joe? Izzy's like running before sunrise. How does
Yeah.
she? Does she feel safe
Yeah.
in Melbourne or?
I wouldn't say she feels safe. Before sunrise, she purposely runs on main roads and like goes long ways around, so she's not running down dark paths and stuff. So yeah, women's safety is definitely something that has been on my radar more because Izzy's talked about it a lot because she's running every morning in the dark.
I guess good thing about Izzy not just being a hobbyist kind of runner is like she could really probably outrun 99.9% of predators.
You have to be able to do 4-minute Ks, or what does she run?
Yeah.
3:30
Quicker than
or
that,
something?
yeah.
Yeah.
3:30.
Yeah, I think so.
You can do a sub 2 hour half marathon. Then
You can
then
get
you
to it.
can. Yeah, no, that's not funny.
Does it a lot quicker than sub 2 hours. She'll be offended by that.
I have no
What?
idea.
Isn't
What
a
does she do?
marathon?
One
isn't it
hour?
half-
Marathon. Half
Half
marathon.
marathon, 1 hour?
1 hour 16 something, I think, is her time. She's swift.
Jesus.
But anyway, there should be a world that we live in where you don't have to be an elite runner to feel safe on the streets.
It's really...
I have a separate type of fear when I'm out. I don't do it that often, but like go for a bushwalk or a run or a jog on these kind of unfamiliar, or a ride sometimes on my bike through these unfamiliar national park kind of tracks, and got your headphones in, doing a bit of exercise, and then like one specific time I was running. I didn't know really where I was, just kind of jogging with my headphones in, slightly rolled my ankle. So then I just like came down to a slow walk, and then took my headphones off, and then I just got spooked. I was like, Jesus, I have no idea where I am, and I'm so alone, and it's like, I've got a rolled ankle, I'm vulnerable. And I was like, what if there's a creep in the bushes? And usually I'm like, I'll be fine if there's a creep, I'll just fight them. But I was like, I've rolled my ankle, it's over for me. There better not be a creep who wants me, because...
Well, there's been stories of the guy that lives in the woods. Haven't you told me about this guy? The guy that...
Yeah, in the high country in Victoria, the Button Man.
The Button Man,
What?
That's right. Tell us about the Button Man.
You don't know about the Button Man, Tom?
No, this is amazing.
Oh, you'll love this. You're right. This is right in your, wheelhouse of conspiracies and urban myths and stuff that you like. But this is a real person. He's nicknamed the Button Man. Don't know why he's nicknamed the Button Man, but he is. The police know who he is and what his real name is. His name's Henry something.
Button.
And maybe Henry Button. And he has lived on the land, in the Victorian High Country, like in the Otways, for like 20 years or something. And in that time, 11 people have gone missing in the Victorian High Country without a trace. Never recovered any bodies, never, like, campgrounds just abandoned with their cars. Some experienced hunters just like gone missing. And this guy lives in the bush, just completely lives off the land, never comes into town or society. And there's all of these stories of these encounters that people have had with him. And he's just a real creepy guy, right? So there was one of the more famous stories that was told about him was these really experienced hunters, a group of about 8 of them with their dogs, were out camping, and they're sitting around the campfire at night time, and the Button Man just like walks up out of the shrub with a gun.
It makes it so much scarier because of the name as well.
Yeah. But yeah, he just like walked up out of the shrub. A couple of them had gone to bed, and then he just like kind of came up to the fire and like was looking at them. They were like, "Who the fuck are you?" And they were in the middle of nowhere. And other times, people just find their campsites with their sleeping bags pulled out, or their eskies gone through and things stolen when they're in the middle of nowhere, like really remote high country. And then they wake up in the morning and just things have been rummaged through and things are gone. And the dogs that are outside don't alert them. Like he somehow can sneak into a campsite without the hunting dogs being alerted and barking. So he's a sneaky character.
That is so frightening. I have a bad feeling about the Button Man.
Yeah, and the stories of people that have gone missing are also horrific. Like just campsites, man and woman, husband and wife who are camping, and they just their car, their tent, everything's set up as if they're camping, and they're both missing without a trace. It's like creepy shit. And there just happens to be a guy who just lives in the area in a fucking cave.
Yeah, we're not making any accusations, but it's
Allegedly, the Button Man.
Yeah, well, Eddie got spooked a couple of times. He does, my bud Eddie does these like long overnight or week-long bike rides.
Like endurance cycling, right?
Yeah, and he also does them just for leisure, like not racing, but we'll go with what do they call it, bike packing,
Yeah.
and go on these little trails and then just like camp on the side of the road, on the side of the path up in the hotways. And then he started reading about the Button Man, and he's staying in these little loggers' huts that are out in the bush. It's like, if the Button Man wanted to come and get you, no one would hear you scream.
Your lunch meat for the Button Man.
Yeah. So, yeah. There's definitely a Victorian high country serial killer, and there's definitely an ex-army psycho who lives out in the bush on the land. So,
Wait, is that two different guys?
no,
Or
that's
is that
him. The
just-
Button Man
that's
is
the Button Man?
that's one of the facts about him, that he's an ex-marine or ex-soldier or whatever. Do we have marines in Australia?
No.
Ex-soldier.
What's the SAS or SES?
SAS.
What's SES?
SES is the rescue and fire and rescue.
Yeah.
What it stands for.
And SAS are the guys who train like underwater and all that.
Yeah, they're like.
Or they drop them off in the bush.
Yeah, they're like the elite, like, group within the Australian Army that are highly trained.
I have
Ben
a buddy up here who's who the boys from up here are all friends with. I only really see him at Christmas time, but I've seen him the last 5 Christmases, and he's a really nice guy, and he's SAS. And I was like, wow, are you going out on secret missions and blah, blah, blah? And he said, well, most of the time I'm actually now in a suit, like in England, like doing classified
spy.
stuff over there. Yeah. Well, no, not as a spy, but like doing diplomatic meetings and shit with...
Yeah, okay. That's
So-
what a spy would say.
I feel like a spy wouldn't say it. They'd say, I just work at a chicken shop or whatever.
Yeah, well, I thought he would have all these
Spies
exciting...
cover stories. A
getting-
chicken shop worker.
Or they say, I just work for the government.
Yeah.
I just work in Canberra.
They say, I just work in Canberra. And
Yeah.
you're like, doing what? Bureaucracy or something? You're like, fuck, you work for ASIO.
Maybe you guys should consider moving to Queensland instead of me considering moving back down to Melbourne.
I quite like it here. The theatre and everything.
Musical theatre that you go to all the time.
Yeah. I actually did go to Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah, with Nick, right?
With Nick, yeah. Lord of the Rings musical.
Was it good?
I've gone to now 2 musicals, and at the start I'm like, this is so fucking these theatre kids. It's fucking now unbearable. Like, fucking settle down. And then by the end I'm like, da, 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 da. Like, they're so good, you know.
Wow, I haven't gone to a musical. I struggle to watch movies that are musicals. I can't remember if I've ever really been gripped by one, but I tried to watch The Wicked with Jess the other week. I was a bit like, I don't know.
The movie.
Hey?
The movie.
The movie, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just kind of feel like, the plot's going along and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting interested in the plot. And then it's like interrupted by a song. And then when the songs are really close together and you don't get a break of some plot continuance, it just fucks me off. Do you know what I mean? Is that... Maybe that's...
Yeah, I see that.
maybe that's not
Yeah.
relatable, but I haven't ever been able to really love a musical. So maybe I should go and see some live action musicals.
I saw The Book of Mormon
Yeah.
in
Oh, yeah.
Adelaide, which was really good.
That's
I
really...
recommend.
At least I think I could probably get around that because it's really funny, right?
Yeah.
For the record, I found the Wicked movie pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think we finished it. I think I lost my temper with it pretty... Not lost my temper,
Yeah.
but I got sick of it pretty early.
A tradies review of Wicked.
I don't know. I was really eager to watch it as soon as it came out. I think I watched it the day it came on Netflix, and I was a little bit disappointed. But I don't know. Maybe Winnie, maybe it's the sleep deprived.
You're gonna have
mind.
you're gonna have a whole world of musicals and kids shows ahead of you. The Wiggles.
I'm chucking on the Wiggles.
You do?
And I'm telling you, the Wiggles songs are really, really, really good. They are well produced. Sonically, they sound incredible.
Mm-hmm.
The melodies are like super, super catchy. And the singing is really high quality as well. They are legitimately good songs. The content of the songs obviously is children, baby stuff, but
Yeah.
they're legitimately good musicians with making.
They sound
great
so
music.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mixes sound good. Like the guitars sound good. I put it on the other week and I was like, Joel's just like, check it out.
Yeah.
And it's like it sounds better. Like especially the old stuff sounds better than music today.
Yeah, first
The
two
Wiggles.
albums. The first two albums are like genius level. They have hundreds of millions of views on Spotify, and they are so good. Joe, I suggest
Get us some tickets. We'll just go. No kids. We'll just go.
That's how you get on a watch list.
That's how you get
Oh
watch
yeah,
this.
true. I didn't think about that.
But there was a long time. I'm not sure if it's still happening now with the current set of Wiggles that exist, but they were like the highest grossing Australian artists many years in a row because they're just touring and selling albums, and they're just like really super ultra successful.
Crazy, and it's a whole like new batch of people, right? Like
It's one of the dudes from the Justice Crew is the new Purple Wiggle
for a while.
That's right, Justice.
Jeff.
Yeah, I think Jeff might actually still be.
And Jeff gone
around.
into Justice Crew.
Jeff is in Justice Crew. No, but one of the maybe it's. I'm not sure if it's Jeff's replacement or second Jeff.
He's purple.
The original guys would be old now, right?
Yeah, there's a couple of them still in there though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Blue Man.
Good for them. Anthony
is still in there, and maybe a bit of Murray on the guitar. I can't remember. I'm sure I'll learn this all soon enough. I'll be brushed up on my Wiggles
Yes.
facts.
Yeah.
So when do you start showing them TV? When does she become an iPad baby?
We haven't been doing any screen time at all. I've read that 3. So 3 is a long way away.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, they say anything, that's what they say. Anything before 3 is potentially bad, but I can't imagine we'll get to 3 without doing any screen time, but
I saw
set some goals, I suppose.
I don't want to shame parents for their parenting styles, but I did see a very small toddler on a parent's back walking around Princes Park here in Melbourne. So the baby was facing the same direction, so head like looking forward from on behind, and the dad was holding a phone up next to him like this, so the baby was looking over his shoulder, watching the phone. It's like, let your baby just look at the world around.
It's all new stimuli for the baby.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't need TV. Like, it hasn't seen all this stuff before.
Yeah. That was insane.
Well,
Yeah, I think that the earlier you give them screens and the more you give them to them, the more they need them. Like Winnie is really content to like look out the window at the trees, and I think if you shove bright lights and nice appealing sounds right in their face, all coming from a little phone. Even when she sometimes rolls over and sees our phone or sees our TV, she is so hypnotized by it. Even though she only sees it in tiny little increments, you can see that it's just addicting, and it's scary how much they're drawn to the bright lights and the sounds. So we're going to strive to keep her away from screens for as long as we can, but don't know.
That's a good ambition to have, I think.
yeah. I never realized how, how bored, like I wasn't bored growing up without a phone. I only now am bored any second I don't have my fucking phone. Because I have the option of having a phone, but never having the option, I was never bored. I would just sit there and like look at stuff, or I throw a rock at a wall, or I'm thinking about the train station or whatever. You just like look around and imagine shit.
Yeah.
And that's like what people are missing for sure.
Yeah, I remember when we were kids trying to put rocks on the train line, thinking
That was a big one.
That's crazy. We could have derailed the fucking trains when we were small kids.
Yeah, I remember you doing a bit of a rock stack.
Yeah, walking home from school along the train line, and then just going, before we veer away from the train line, just going, let's just stack like 20 rocks in a row along the train lines, and then walk home.
That is so
I think they have a little something to like push the rocks out of the way on the front of the train, but
they must.
still fucking crazy for a child to be doing. We need better
Not to
supervision.
mention the button man of the park down the road. We had our own button man down there.
Who lived in...
like down in the park, in the caves. Well, that's what Mum used to think. She'd be like, there's mental cases who live down there in the caves.
Really?
Why would she let us go down there by ourselves?
She's like, what?
The mental cases down there in the caves. Off you go, boys. Be safe.
In, what's that reserve called? Dingley Dell.
That's part of it. Yeah, I don't know the official name, but yeah,
It's
that's
Dingley
one side
Dell.
of it. The whole thing.
Dingley Dell is the park that starts at like bottom of Alif's Road and goes up to Eden Hills.
Yeah, well, the Dingley Dell murders. That sounds like something.
Yeah, well, I think I probably won't be letting my children walk along train tracks unsupervised when they are small. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we lived and it's totally fine, but I don't
But
think
we
I'll.
all-
I don't think I'll be that type of parent.
Yeah, you'll be over anxious.
You say that now, but just wait and see.
Yeah.
You might be sending them off down the railway line.
You'll be on the wines and just, well, where's Winnie? She's off stacking rocks.
With the uncles coming over, you guys coming over, and just getting me and you just get blind drunk, and then the kids just wander away.
Let's order a pizza. Where are the kids? They're just exploring.
God. So, Joe, when are you going to lock in and start having children so that Winnie has some cousins?
Still a few years away from that, I think. I'm going overseas for a year
To Cambridge.
to Cambridge to do some study. And I'm kicking that can down the road. Are you going to have a second?
Yeah, I think we're going to have a second and a third, hopefully.
A third?
Holy moly.
Well,
I mean, I think it's good. People should have more.
yeah.
I feel weird when people do the eco thing. I've met some eco people who are like, I couldn't bring a child into the world. It's too, like, there's no future. It's like people used to live in caves and like bash each other over the head with rocks, and they still had kids.
Fuck
you know,
loads of
Talked a lot
kids.
about rocks today. Deck stacking rocks. You throwing rocks against the wall.
Smashing cavemen over the head with rocks.
Smashing cavemen.
All right. Well, then with bats or bones, like, you know, what's the big like one in the leg? The femur, a big femur bone. And then they used to be eaten by saber-toothed tigers. Anyway, my point is, they still add kids even in dangerous situations. So it's like, you know, I think it's just nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You've sold me on it. I'll have kids.
No, I have heard that a bit. You know, in living in Melbourne for 10 years, I definitely crossed paths with a fair few people that were like, yeah, I think if I'm ever going to have children, we'll just adopt because there's so many kids that need adoption and it's irresponsible to have more.
Well, adoption is a honourable thing.
Honourable,
Yeah.
true.
It's good. Good idea.
Nothing. It is honourable, but also
You're
Well,
allowed to have kids.
You're allowed to have kids is the point.
Yeah. that's
People
the,
just love feeling guilty and just being sick and guilty.
I think it's the coolest thing ever to have a child with the person you love. It's like you get
if you're
to
able.
invent a person, half you, half them, and then they exist and they look at you and they smile. And so I think about it all the time. When I see Winnie, I go, Jesus, we made this little person. It's half me, half Jess.
Yeah.
It's beyond crazy. And if you think about it too much, you'll spin out and have a panic attack.
Like you did when you're on the bush track.
Yeah.
Yeah, thinking all you could think about was the button man behind you and you're spinning out.
Was that after finding out about the button man or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
known about the Button Man for quite a few years. Look it up. Look up the Button Man. There's stories about him on Google, and yeah, it's horrific stuff.
On that topic of regional Victorian
Murderers.
myths and murderers, the big cat.
Yo, that's a good one. There's a few.
There's been a few, but there's been a sighting recently that is
Video credible. The
video
best one
credible,
ever.
and it is a huge black cat.
Is this
And it's
is that
not
a
blurry.
Gippsland one or the Grampians one?
I'm not sure where it was. It was somewhere in regional Victoria. Have you seen the video, Deck?
I've seen the video. The most recent video, Tom, you should probably look it up if
Yeah.
you haven't seen it right now while we're talking about it.
What's
It is
it-
just look up Black Cat Victoria sighting. It is the best sighting ever because there's been other ones where it's clearly a black cat, but there's not really much of a size reference to go off, and it could kind of just be a big feral cat that's black. This most recent video is pretty irrefutable. It is a huge cat, and it's just wandering down this road somewhere. Does it say where it is?
It said like Ballarat. It's saying.
Yeah, Ballarat. So that's probably the Grampians cat, because Ballarat is, Ararat is Grampians. Ballarat is not far from Ararat, so it's probably that. It's big, right?
Yeah, it looks like a dog. No, it's like the size of like a doggish kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's got the thick legs like
Thick
a panther.
legs, thick tail.
It almost looks like a black bear as well. Interesting. Wow.
So no longer an urban legend. I think that's verifiable.
I mean, so many farmers have seen it. Sort of what we used to call Uncle Jack, who he said that the sheep in the top paddock in Western Victoria, Harrow, got ripped to shreds in a way that like no fox could ever do. So he didn't see it, but there had been lots of sightings, and then they tore the brains, and then like just like sheep guts strewn everywhere.
Jeez.
He was like, "This is a big cat."
So good. Not that
Yeah.
his livestock were getting murdered, but that there is a big cat on the loose in Victoria. Maybe some of those missing people in Victoria are actually victims of the big cat gone without a
not
trace.
all attributable to the button man.
Yeah. Or just a yowie. Just take it back to a yowie.
What's a yowie?
What's a yowie? It's like a bush monster.
I've never heard of a yowie.
What? I feel like I was
Do you
gonna
know-
say I feel like yowies they've gone out of fashion.
Eddie talks about yowies all the time because he's out in the bush all the time.
So what is it?
He's showing it's a city boy to not know what a yowie is.
Eddie has a cycling friend who says that he's seen yowies. So good.
Like Bigfoot vibes.
It's like Bigfoot vibes apparently, but I think there's not really a clear, discernible, specific image for what a yowie is. I think it's like kind of
It's a bit more fuzzy.
nondescript monster. But I remember in primary
Yowie,
school,
there you go.
we had a teacher who was like, all right, now everyone has to draw a yowie. And I had a really clear vision in my mind of what a yowie was.
So were you in the the slow class or?
Yeah.
What did it look like? What did you draw it like?
I drew it like it was kind of like it was a furry kind of blob monster that had big teeth, and it didn't really have long limbs and legs. It was kind of like a blob with small little legs, but I don't know how it moved around in my mind, but I knew what it looked like.
Giant echidna, sort of upright.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh my!
I think it is like an indigenous thing, the yowie. Or am I thinking there's another one?
I don't know. Jess
I'm
and
not sure.
Jess and Winnie are back. Hi.
Yay. We're about done anyway.
Yeah, we're pretty much done.
Anything else?
Say hello.
Hello.
Hi.
hello,
Oh,
Winnie.
Winnie.
Hi, Jess. Hi, Winnie.
Winnie's talking so well now.